from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. Whether obviously we know she deserves it, but in their eyes, whether they think she deserves it or not, like she's being handed as the face of the league.
Watching Caitlin Clark feels like watching Larry Bird all over again.
When Michael Jordan puts you in the same breath as Larry Bird, you're not just good, you're rewriting the rules. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark is doing. Her vision, her guts, her playmaking, it's the kind of stuff that turns pressure into power. Right now, she's not just running the offense. She's shifting the culture of the WNBA. Everywhere she plays, seats are filled. Every highlight reel, she's front and center. Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the conversation, she is the conversation. But with the spotlight comes heat. Critics have been loud, doubters even louder. Yet, through all the noise, Clark hasn't flinched. She continues to show up, deliver, and lead game after game. In this video, we're cutting past the headlines to look at the real story, how players, legends, analysts, and fans are reacting to Caitlin's rise. Some cheer, some challenge, but everyone's watching. And just like Larry Bird back in his day, Caitlin Clark is proving moment by moment that greatness doesn't need permission. In Indiana, leadership isn't just stats on a box score, it's presence, it's tone setting. Tyrese Halliburton gets it, he's done it with the Pacers. And now, he sees that same fire in Caitlin Clark. She's not just lifting a team, she's lifting a whole league.
I think she's just so amazing what she does. I love being here to support her in any way I can, and I think we're just 2 point guards trying to lead our group to do something special. So any way I can be here to support, I'll be here.
Two floor generals recognizing the grind in each other. Caitlin Clark isn't out here just trying to belong in the WNBA. She's already steering the ship, calling plays, absorbing contact, and working to lift the Indiana Fever the same way Tyrese Halliburton has powered up the Pacers. What makes this moment different? Tyrese sees it. He respects it. When one of the NBA's sharpest young minds doesn't talk down but stands next to you, that's real. That's leadership recognizing leadership. Indiana doesn't just have a face of the franchise, it has to. Sometimes, the most important stat isn't found on a scoreboard. It's in who shows up for you. And when it comes to the bigger picture, Jason Whitlock didn't hold back. Say what you want about him, bold, blunt, never shy, but this time, he's saying the quiet part out loud. There's a behind-the-scenes tension in the WNBA, and Whitlock is putting a spotlight on what many have only whispered.
A super team around Caitlin Clark because people want to play with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
The Chicago Sky, they look perhaps worse than they were a year ago because people don't want to play with Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark isn't just drawing fans, she's drawing talent, and that kind of pull is rare. The Indiana Fever didn't have to beg players to come. No big city lights, no deep playoff legacy, just one game-changing presence. Caitlin Clark. Because in free agency it's about more than money, it's about culture, chemistry, and trust. Trust that the person beside you knows how to win, how to lead, how to raise the bar, and Clark, she checks every box. Zoom out. And you'll see Jason Whitlock's comments weren't just about Caitlin versus Angel, they were about the future of the league. Teams aren't just signing talent, they're building around personalities. And Clark's personality, it's the model for the modern franchise star. Grounded, driven, and always in the headlines for all the right reasons. If you're a GM trying to resurrect a struggling team, who would you choose as your foundation? The player who's jeered in every arena, or the one who turns every road trip into a sellout event? Whitlock's take cuts through the noise. People don't just watch Caitlin Clark, they want to play with her. And in a league that's still carving out its space in the mainstream, that kind of magnetism might be more powerful than any stat line. Because when stars start recruiting themselves, you've built something real. There are two kinds of fame in sports. Basketball fame earned through MVPs, deep playoff runs, and unforgettable performances. And cultural fame, the kind that breaks beyond the court. The kind that makes someone a household name in homes that don't even follow basketball right now. Caitlin Clark lives in that second lane. She's not just playing ball, she's showing up on cereal boxes, trending on NFL Sundays, and dominating timelines on platforms that barely covered the WNBA before she showed up. She's not in a major market. She's not part of a dynasty. She's a rookie in Indiana and still might be the most talked about hooper in America. Which is exactly why Colin Cowherd, known for bold takes but rarely careless ones, dropped this next-level statement without blinking.
How many NBA players are more famous than Caitlin Clark? LeBron, Steph, absolutely.
Maybe Durant.
That's what I put. I wrote down KD maybe.
Yeah.
In 1 year, out of women's basketball, for a horrible team when she arrived, outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
Think about what Colin Cowherd just said and really sit with the gravity of it. In a league filled with global stars, massive endorsement deals, and polished marketing machines, Caitlin Clark ranks in the top 3 for name recognition. That's wild. And yet it tracks. This isn't about who's racking up wins, this is about who's shaping culture. And Caitlin is doing that at a speed we haven't seen in decades. Cowherd didn't sound surprised. He sounded certain, like he was just saying what everyone with a phone and a pulse already knows. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's transforming the entire ecosystem. And here's the kicker. She's just getting started. So, if you're still asking who's got next, not just in the WNBA but in all of basketball, the answer isn't a maybe. It's Caitlin, period. Because sometimes the biggest moments in sports don't come from buzzer beaters or trophies. They come from tension, from the energy of two powerful forces clashing at the perfect time, with the entire world watching. That's what happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Different styles, different stories, same spotlight. And according to NBA veteran Jonathan Isaac, that friction, it's not a problem, it's the spark.
The rivalry, because of Angel Reese, because of Caitlin Clark, has sparked an interest in women's basketball that wasn't completely there before. So I'm happy for that. And so I want to see it play out. I want to see them, continue to grow their careers and be the best female basketball players that they can be.
Surface, Jonathan Isaac's take sounds balanced. Credit to both sides, right? But let's be honest, if Angel Reese had entered the WNBA without Caitlin Clark in the picture, it wouldn't have made front-page news. Angel's rise to the spotlight didn't happen in a vacuum, it happened standing next to Caitlin. The trash talk, the stare-downs, the flagrant fouls. Those moments went viral not just because they were intense, but because Caitlin Clark was on the receiving end. Without Clark, Angel's moments are just clips. With her they became headlines. And here's the kicker. Caitlin never needed any of that. She didn't climb her way into the spotlight. She brought it with her. Record-breaking viewership, a legendary college career, a fan base that followed her like she was already a pro. She didn't ride a wave, she was the wave. Caitlin Clark made the WNBA impossible to ignore. She got the league primetime slots, packed arenas, and cultural relevance before any rivalry ever existed. So yes, Isaac is right, the moment is massive, but let's not twist the narrative. Media doesn't cover Angel Reese and then check in on Caitlin Clark. It's the other way around. Angel gets airtime because Caitlin's name is on the banner. This isn't a two-woman show, it's a one-woman era, and that woman is Caitlin Clark. So when people say, the rivalry's good for the league, they're not wrong. But don't forget, the fire was already lit the moment Caitlin Clark stepped on a WNBA court. The rivalry might add smoke and heat, but the blaze that started with her, every sport has its turning point. For the NBA, it was Magic versus Bird. In tennis, Serena redefined the game. In the UFC, Conor McGregor turned fights into must-see TV, and for the WNBA, that moment is happening right now. And Rachel Demita didn't hesitate to name the reason why.
2024 was a year of unprecedented growth in viewership in the WNBA, a substantial amount of which can be attributed to Caitlin Clark, who took the basketball world by storm after an all-time college career.
This wasn't just a spike in interest, it was a tidal wave, game after game. Arenas that once struggled to fill the lower bowl were now sold out to the rafters. Broadcasts that barely crossed six figures were suddenly pulling in millions of viewers, and online, entire social media ecosystems sprang up overnight, filled with highlights, interviews, hot takes, and debate threads, all orbiting Caitlin Clark. But let's be clear, this isn't a coincidence. This isn't just good timing. This is her. Caitlin Clark didn't wait for the WNBA to catch up to her. She walked in and brought the spotlight with her. From the moment she threw on that Indiana Fever jersey, the entire league felt different. Because every now and then, a special kind of moment hits sports where elite talent meets perfect timing, where a player doesn't just join a league, they redefine it. Clark arrived as the most hyped female hooper in years, fresh off one of the most iconic college careers of all time. And somehow, she's outshined the hype, not just with her on-court skill, but with her ability to carry the weight of a league and never flinch. What Rachel Demita saw wasn't just a great player, she saw a moment, a shift, a force, the kind of a player who moves the entire conversation, whether fans are cheering for her or praying she falls. And for a league that's been waiting decades for this kind of breakout star, Caitlin Clark didn't just show up. She blew the doors off, but not everyone is thrilled about it. For every highlight that goes viral, for every jersey that sells out, for every face of the league headline, there's been resistance. And plenty of it. Some of it subtle, some of it loud, and much of it sounds a lot like what Megan Rapinoe hinted at. She didn't go full attack mode, but if you read between the lines, the message was crystal clear.
I want to become the girl, the team, the coach, the player who cries wolf all the time. It's just like, I feel like sometimes it's just like constant. And like, to what end? And I think especially around the Fever team and especially around Caitlin, this has like been a thing. It was a thing last year. Like sometimes you just have to like play through it and like earn a little bit more respect.
It's about the noise, the spotlight, the pressure, the scrutiny, and how it's being handled. And maybe Just maybe, Megan Rapinoe sees a little bit of her own journey in Caitlin Clark's. After all, Rapinoe has weathered storms on the biggest stages. Maybe her comments were less of a jab and more of a reminder. We've all taken the hits. You've just got to keep going. But there's something deeper here, a quiet tension. Yes, Caitlin Clark has taken a beating on the court, and yes, the media has had a field day with every move she makes. But through it all, she's done something remarkable. She hasn't just endured the chaos, she's owned it. She gets knocked down hard, and yet, she never asks for sympathy. She shows up, answers the tough questions, takes the elbows, shrugs off the headlines, and just keeps balling. So when Rapinoe says, earn a little more respect, the question isn't whether Clark deserves it. It's why she hasn't already received it. She's rewriting the record books. She's breathing life into a franchise that needed a spark. She's become the face of a league craving mainstream attention. And she's doing it all with a calm that many seasoned vets still chase. This isn't about demanding respect with